Come on, Mr. Nobby. I know you only got 5 millimeters left, but we need one more ride out of you. Well, we are in Cleator today. We're on the 1090 and we're heading north. Well, let's split this party before someone gets in trouble. So I am playing hooky today. I am truant, AWOL, absent without leave. Off and running, stumbling, bumbling like a toddler with a full diaper. Yes, I've taken a vacation day, which I rarely do. First time in all my working years. Last year I took all of my vacation to move my domicile, and haven't really used any vacation time since. So before the HR lady gets all puffed up and tells me I got too much time saved up, I'm gonna pop a day off and convince myself there wasn't much to do at work. Time to go have a little fun out of pocket, as they say. Well, no real surprises or punches pulled here. We're heading out of Cleator. Heading north towards, or generally north, it's the direction of this ride. We're heading towards right now Crown King, jump on the Senator Highway and head to Prescott. There's a couple of stops en route, as they like to say in France. En route. And just a little fun seeking today. Nothing too terribly serious. Oh, it's so lush and green. I know California called off their drought. I don't know if we have. Haven't heard even a hide nor hair of a word. We've got just about as much rain as California did. We got their leftovers. Oh, we're up to hitting the switchbacks now. Getting ourselves a little bit of elevation. Dusty conditions today. This is a fun little section of the run-up. Gotta like the switchbacks. love these cutouts in the rail grade. They blew these out with the railroad was through here. Nice of the guy to pull over. Fine looking panorama. Right down there you can see the road. Comes between those two mountains. We came all the way up there. We've been switchbacking all the way up to here. Switchback. Everybody means you're a little bit higher. Little cowie. Smells like she's running awful rich. Well, we're arriving in Crown King, around that 7,000 feet mark, plus or minus. Up there's the Mill Restaurant, excellent place to eat. Not quite that time of day yet. Good food, sit-down type restaurant. We'll go into the center of Crown King here. The downtown, if you will, the metropolis thereof. So just jumped off in downtown Crown King. I'm going to spend a couple bucks here. I always like to do that, keep the place up and going. Not that they needed a lot of help with that. This is a mecca for hikers, bicyclists, dirt bikers, obviously, adventure bikers, ATVs, UTVs, campers. It's a close place to Phoenix where you can get out of the heat. So a little panorama downtown. Of course, they got a church. Think over there is a B&B. The general store, we got the saloon here, burgers and stuff like that. Down there where you see that prospector sign, to the left of that they actually have a little mall here. Unfortunately, no Walmart. So this is the road to Prescott. This particular stretch is not the actual Senator Highway. However, it's an extension they made from the Senator Highway to Crown King to pick up the mines that were in the area of Crown King. That's the CK road, that's the back road to Crown King from Lake Pleasant. Well, it's not as tough as it used to be. You can do it on a big bike, but I wouldn't do it by myself. I'd want someone to be there to help me to pick up my bike 3 or 4 times anyway. Oh no, it's mule deer. I don't know if you guys can see them there in the shadows. There's one right there. Cool, cool. Now coming into our first water crossing. Yeah, it's funny how you remember roads or trails or something like that. And I keep thinking I'm on one particular part and it looks familiar, and it's actually not quite there yet. We'll do, all told, including the stuff that you guys didn't get to see that I did earlier today, but all told we'll probably do about 60 or 70 miles on dirt today. This is where we turn onto the actual Senator Highway. That way. On that short last little bit there, we peeled off about 1,200 feet of elevation. Temperature's gone up probably a good 15 degrees or so. Huh, more like 10. Lots of deadfall. I think the Forest Service came through and cleaned it out. Maybe not. Maybe it was enterprising ute. I don't know if you guys have the same problem, but I'm running along a forest area and you see the shadow of the trees making lines across the road. I can't see what's going on the road, especially at a distance. And it's ever since I was a kid, when I was wiped out pretty bad chasing my father when I was a kid, doing that kind of thing. Oh, rocky. Another little water crossing. There we go. Duplex water crossings. Yeah, it's almost like camouflage. The shadows hide the rocks and make it almost impossible to pick a line. Triplex water crossings. Crystal clear water. Ow. You okay? There's something in my helmet with me. I think at the bottom of this hill is the old stage stop. It's been converted into a ranger station. And now it's a National Historic Site. So this is Palace Station, and it's busier than crap. About 20 people have been in and out of here in the last 10 minutes. But this is Palace Station. It was built in 1874 by the Spence family. Went to 1910 as a stage stop. It's one of the oldest structures in Arizona, and now it's used by the Forest Service to house one of their rangers here. This sucker's a National Historic Site also. I don't mind staying here. Well, let's get back on the bike and see if we can't chase these dirt bikers down the road. On to our next destination. That was a heck of a water crossing. Should be coming up on the Senator Mine if I've got the correct coordinates. The Senator Mine was first dug or mined 1871. They didn't do anything in seriousness until about 1884. And really the massive stuff was done here about was done by 1899 and continued on. There was a post office here from what I understand, one of the readings I did. There was a post office here about 1905, so there must have been some type of town here or something at some point. Hopefully you can see that steel structure there. Definitely looks like early 1900s with all the rivets, but that was part of the mill that was built here in the later part of the mine history. And if you can see, there's graffiti on it, and that means that we're not too far from civilization. Good old Prescott is not too far from here. I'm going to continue down this rocky path and see what else is here. This thing is situated in a deep canyon, and I'm not sure if you can see or hear Hacienda Creek down there. Across the way you can see tailings, and looks like there was some type of structure on the side here. You can see an old beam sticking out of the ground. Looks like someone's either trying to mitigate the tailings leaching off or are trying to work this place again. You can see the anti-erosion fencing over there. It's a beautiful place. Like many mine sites that I've been to, the scenery in some of these places is just absolutely beautiful, and I always wonder if the miners ever bothered to look around, or if it was something that they didn't ever even thought about in their drudgery. So a little better look at the mill structure. This was a pretty heavy duty build, and from the date that they say is the building of it, I'm assuming this is all Carnegie steel. Unbelievable. It's all open area here. This must have been all their machinery up here, and it just wraps down right down the side of the canyon. Yeah, it must have been just one absolute Herculean effort, even though it was pretty close to Prescott. This had to be quite an undertaking, even in 1905. Let's wander back up this path. There was one more road type area that looked like it may have gone around the other side of the canyon. A little shot of Hacienda Creek. Well, over here looks like we've got an obstacle. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to cross in motorcycle gear I have on. Looks like an old pressure vessel that they tipped over to allow the creek to run through. Had some type of concrete diversion here. Let me see if I can climb down and then climb up the other side. Now down farther there's some type of tank. It's all cut up. Hey, we got down the tank. We are up the other side. Wondering if all this water's coming off the mountain or if it's coming out of the mine. A couple of videos I saw showing the mine entrance. Had water coming out of it, or at least standing water in it. It's a foundation.
Actually, there's a few of them over here. There's a big old piece of equipment. Some type of hopper. Looks like early 1900s also. Came from the mill over there, walked all the way around the canyon. See if we can't find the actual mine. If you look here, it's really degraded, but it's a concrete slab. And there's ore cart tracks. About ankle deep water here. And yes, the water is coming out of the mine. There's the Senator mine. I don't have any need, want, or desire to go inside. I didn't bring any lights or anything either. So a bunch of gold was pulled out of there. I haven't seen any exploratory videos of the mine. The security gate's down, so I'm assuming someone's been in there. Let's head back to the bike.
Well, thanks for playing hooky with me today. Got to see the Senator Highway, Crown King, Palace Station, Senator Mine. It's a beautiful day. Go out and ride around. I appreciate you watching. Please comment, subscribe, like and share. Adios.